Welcome to the Stairway to Heaven. We're coming to you bringing insights into the ever-changing high-frequency currents now bathing the planet and their effect on us all. The source of vital information for the evolving human being. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Timeline jumps and manifestation. Manifestation has been a hot topic for years. Books abound on how to create your desires. Most of them make sense and sound great, but when the principles are put to the test by applying them to reaching our goals, they fail. Why? One can try this method and the next, but manifestation principles are like cars. It doesn't matter if you have a rusty used Volkswagen Bug or a new shiny Porsche. If you don't have gas, you're not going anywhere. So, in the manifestation arena, what constitutes the gas? It is a very complicated issue, as the ability to consciously manifest is impacted by multiple factors. Each factor has been, or will be, an entire Stairway to Heaven episode in and of itself, but for our purposes, we'll look at a basic overview. We've been led to believe we can't manifest on our own, that we must feed our life's blood into the system to eke out a meager living. The truth is, we manifest all the time. We've been fooled into manifesting for the system rather than for ourselves through our beliefs and conditioning, but nonetheless, we're manifesting fools. It's our nature to create. When we believe we cannot manifest, what we do create is the inability to manifest. Once we realize we indeed have the ability that has been appropriated to serve the system, we can then begin to uncover where our personal power, aka the aforementioned gas, is going. Personal power is dictated by frequency. Any place our frequency is compromised, so is our power and therefore our ability to manifest. In prior episodes, we've addressed many of these frequency compromises on all four levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and ways to correct them. Suffice it to say that the first step in regaining our ability to manifest for ourselves is in regaining our personal frequency. Another thing compromising the ability to be conscious co-creators is what we believe. If we believe we cannot, then we won't. Therefore, taking a close look at our belief systems and where they may be self-defeating is a necessary component in the equation. To manifest, we need to set clear intention. To set intention, we must first decide what we want to intend. Sounds simple enough, but upon deeper examination, we often find we don't really know what we want. Most of our assumed desires are created solutions to perceived and often non-existent problems. One of the largest culprits in this arena is money. We've given much power over to our concept that it takes money to get what you want. Many a fine potential manifestation is aborted the moment we decide we don't have the money for it. We've all done it. Yeah, but I don't have the money. Victim stance, end of story, and we drop the idea without ever exploring it further. Money is a concept propagated by the system that has amazing control over all of us. You want something? It takes money. How do we get money? Work for the system, or borrow from the system and end up working even longer. As an aside, I'm not trying to demonize the system. It developed during lower frequency times and has served quite well. Now, however, it's rapidly becoming cumbersome and exploitive as the rising frequency offers us the opportunity to evolve beyond the need for it. When we're convinced the only way to get something is to have enough money, our intention is shifted from creating what we want to acquiring enough money. Money then becomes the goal. Given that money is an illusion created by the system, there we go again, pouring our personal power into the system rather than using it to create what we want. There's a great deal of anxiety and fear wrapped up in money, and whether we will have enough or are destined to starve alone in the dark. Fear is a low-frequency expression. When we're in fear, we're totally focused on that which we fear. It compromises our ability to manifest anything beyond that which we fear as it becomes our vision. Two human superpowers are intention, as we've been discussing, and vision. To create anything, we must envision it. As long as we hold the vision Our intent will be focused on it. If we don't allow ourselves to be pulled off task and follow our promptings, manifesting it will be the natural result. The only way the system can appropriate our natural ability to create is if we allow it to shift our attention, intention, and vision. Thus, it's important to clearly monitor what media we're feeding ourselves and its effect on us. If we're buying into the stories we're being told, we've been manipulated into creating them. When we free up our frequency and master our attention, intention, and vision, we can then focus our attention to envision and intend that which we create. By envisioning what we want, we're building its structure in our imagination. This creates a matrix at the quantum level for the creation to form around. As long as we hold the vision and back it with our personal power by maintaining our focus and frequency, soon the raw materials to build our creation in physical form start to show up in our world. They will show up, but we must recognize them for what they are and follow our promptings. Take the appropriate action to implement them. This is where timelines come in. For every creation we have intended to manifest, several timelines are produced. Each timeline contains the necessary provisions showing up at the appropriate time for the creation to take place. Depending upon the choices we make, we'll engage one timeline or another. When we plan out a project and develop several contingencies, we have in effect built multiple timelines. As new factors emerge during the implementation and we adjust for them, we jump from one timeline to another, or contingency to another. If our focus, vision, and intent remain on the goal, our timeline jumps will be to our advantage, compensating for unexpected events in the world. The key is to face each challenge with the question, how can this development serve that which I wish to create? As soon as you envision the benefit, you'll jump to the timeline containing it and continue your trek to the desired outcome. If, however, we meet every perceived challenge with throwing up our hands in defeat, our focus shifts to the vision of failure. The result, failure, instead of our goal, is running through the manifestation machinery. Then we create our timelines leading to defeat. Remember, doubts and fears are being messaged to you by the system. If it can take you off task through doubt, it can redirect your power to create its own agenda. Through manipulating the beliefs of the masses, the system controls the overlording timelines. We can reclaim our power and course correct by shifting our focus and vision back to the desired outcome. But by entertaining negativity, we create opposing timelines that we can very easily re-engage if we're not vigilant. This can be compensated for by journaling the entire process from the beginning of a project, which I highly recommend, and pinpointing all the negative messages we feed ourselves. Compose and journal an equal but opposite statement to any negative messaging and say it out loud 3 times every time the negative thought goes through your mind. In so doing, you're using the equal but opposite frequency of the negative message to cancel it out. This is not a matter of denying the possibility of a negative outcome, but rather choosing to feed our personal power to the positive one. As we come to understand timelines and how they're built, it's hard to miss that through our wandering thoughts, catastrophizing, and fears, we've probably built quite a few timelines leading to undesirable results. Every timeline has a part of our personal power tied up in it to maintain its structure. It becomes clear that to be effective co-creators, we must first become masters of ourselves. Another way of staying on track is to recognize, take advantage of, and give gratitude for every provision life provides us to help us reach our goal. Gratitude is like water, while life's provisions are seeds. You need to water the seeds for them to grow. The lack of acknowledgement and gratitude the seeds have been provided never germinate. This might seem like a lot to manage, and it is. Fortunately, there are tools developed and employed by all cultures over the ages that can help. It's known as ceremony. By following the principles common to all ancient ceremonies, we can build an easily implemented routine that will serve to keep us on track. To manage timelines and create our goals, the following is very effective. Choose a journal for your project and record the following procedure. Decide what you want to create. Examine it to be sure it's a true desire rather than a created solution to a perceived problem. Envision what it'll look like. This needs to be both detailed and flexible. In other words, clearly envision the desired outcome, but leave the how, when, and where open. Do not include specific people in your agenda without their permission. As an example, I wish to be in a supportive, loving relationship, period. Not, I wish to be in a supporting, loving relationship with Joe, when Joe is clueless and not on board with your intent. Every morning, speak your intention out loud. Throughout the day, be mindful of any negative thoughts regarding your intention and journal them. Compose an equal but opposite statement and repeat it 3 times whenever the negative thought crosses your mind. Midday, take stock of anything showing up in your world that may be a provision for your intended manifestation. Journal it and take advantage of it. Every evening, record your progress towards your goal and all provisions that showed up. Give a prayer of gratitude for the provisions and your progress. Before bed, envision your goal and see yourself creating it. Take a note and journal any dreams that pertain to your goal. Many of our dreams provide guidance to help us fulfill our intentions. Bear in mind, every time we have a negative thought about our manifestation, we jump to a timeline leading to failure. It's vital to catch yourself when you slip into negative thinking and counteract it with a positive affirmation. It is possible to dismantle negative timelines and reclaim our personal power from them. This is accomplished by stopping, stating, I do not wish to create this outcome, and vigilantly redirecting ourselves with a positive affirmation. The but what ifs are old fear-based conditions that keep us in victim stance and subject to the system. They're a very deep part of our psyche. Intense introspection and consciously monitoring our thoughts and daydreams is required to uncover and negate them. Surrounding yourself with positive people that truly wish to see you succeed and reach your goal is a hugely important part of this equation. If you're with people that outwardly or secretly don't want you to succeed, it'll have a negative impact on the outcome. If you know your dreams won't be well received or supported, practice containment. Keep them to yourself. If you're fortunate enough to have supportive, conscious people in your circle that not only want to see you succeed, but want to participate, be sure they understand and implement the principles we've discussed in this episode. Communicate with them often to find agreement and to be sure you don't slip into working at cross purposes. Clear, open communication keeps you on the same page through unexpected developments and enables you to negotiate every timeline jump together. There is nothing more magical than 2 or more people who love and respect each other and are truly committed to a worthy goal. Thank you for joining me, Gwilda Wiyaka, on the Stairway to Heaven, where we provide the updates on energetic currents facilitating our evolution into conscious, powerful co-creators. As I'm sure you've noticed, not only do the Stairway to Heaven episodes stand alone, but they weave together to form a map to evolution and personal empowerment as we enter the new era. To revisit this or any of our past episodes, visit our archives at www.stairwaytoheavenmedia.com. If you'd like to find out more about me, my school, and the evolutionary tools we offer, visit www.findyourpathhome.com. Until next time, may you be blessed on your sacred path to wholeness. We are here. The time is now.